music. Feel your heart and run away with it. Smile in your face, undermine your guts.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas. Good evening and welcome to a sold-out Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey for a much-anticipated main event. 10 rounds of heavyweight action between Muhammad Ali and Iron Mike Tyson. Muhammad Ali's on his way to the ring right now, and you can see how excited he is for this one. Lots of confidence. Mike Tyson's ring walks have become the stuff of legend, and you can see the intensity on his face.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. His opponents in the middle corner, please welcome Iron Mike Tyson.
Well, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Any questions?
Round number one is now underway. All the talk is done. It is simply time to fight. Now, Ali has faced a lot of powerful big punchers in his day, but Tyson hasn't faced a heavyweight as fast and as skilled as Ali.
No, or as determined as Ali, or a guy who doesn't make silent agreements. And what I mean by that, you know, Tyson's been in a lot of fights where he's been the boss and where he's gotten inside, you know, he's gotten in there and he's put his hands behind the guy on the inside sometimes. I watched him, and he didn't punch. And the guy just grabbed onto him, and they made like a silent agreement. You don't hit me, I won't hit you. You know, Ali's not going to make that agreement. Ali's going to stay on the outside, and he's going to make Tyson work. He's going to make him earn this fight. And if there's a little bit of a tear in the makeup of Tyson, well, look for Ali to open it up.
Hands up, keep your hands up, keep your hands up. Lead up to the punch.
90 seconds to go here in this round. Turns over the hook after turning away his opponent's shot. Parries the punch, comes back with the hook. And now we got a fight. He fires back a right hand of his own. Round comes to an end here. An enjoyable night sitting ringside. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas. A lot better than our day we spent at the horse track the other day, where we couldn't get any winners, at least I couldn't. But we were talking about the fact that so many parallels to be made between boxing and life boxing and all these other sports we enjoy, like horse racing, of being well-conditioned and working your way up to this one singular moment.
Yeah, well, the trainer obviously has to get the athlete. In this case, the athlete happens to be over 1,000 pounds, and that's a horse. You know, at peak condition, he has to look at a calendar just like a trainer does with a fighter, know when the race is, know when the fight is, and not get used up out on the track, or used up, of course, in the gym.
Able to dismiss his opponent's shot, and then comes back with an uppercut. Oh, and look at this, Teddy, wasting no time getting to know each other.
No, they came right to the center ring, said hello.
not able to land the headshot. What do you think is most misunderstood about the heavyweight division?
I think it's human nature for people to see these big Goliaths, that they start to think that, hey, they're more sure of themselves, that these guys have more of an abundance of security about themselves, about confidence. And really, it's the opposite. In some ways, these big giants, they're really unsure of themselves because they know they can do damage. They're also worried about damage being done to them.
Able to show you his blocking ability. Just 10 seconds to go here in the second round. So it's the end of the round. And as both men head back to their respective corners, Teddy, it brings up a good point that's many times not talked enough, but the culture of a corner and how guys conduct themselves. What was always your philosophy in organizing and running a corner?
Well, first of all, only one guy could be in charge. That's the trainer. You can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. It has to be organized like anything else. And you have to have calm people. You only have 1 minute. Maybe by the time the fighter gets back, maybe it's 50 seconds. So you have to be efficient. You can't have guys that are excited. They have to be able to control their emotions just like the fighter does on the outside. And everyone has to know what their job is.
Well-targeted counterpunch by Tyson.
Jab, jab, use the jab.
Not precise at all by Ali. At the end of the 20th century, many of the greatest of lists were all topped by Muhammad Ali. In fact, Sports Illustrated named him the sportsman of the century. I know Babe Ruth had a great effect on baseball. Michael Jordan's probably the greatest basketball player of all time. But I don't know that there's anybody that touched the world stage the way Ali did.
No, there probably isn't. At one point, he was probably the most recognizable face on the planet. I mean, everybody knew who he was. And also what he stood for. You know, he stood for freedom. He stood for...
Oh! Muhammad Ali's stunned, and he is hurt.
Punch it out, guys.
Devastating blow by Ali. How is he able to do this? How is he able to take these shots?
You know, one time Muhammad Ali talked about taking a chin. He had one of the great chins of all time. And what he basically talked about was that when you start to get hit those shots, you start to go down a hallway. And then you go into a gray room. You go from a light room to a gray room. And at the end of the hallway, you see a dark room. You don't want to go to that dark room. And you have a choice. You put your feet down, you start backing up. I'm not going to that dark room. This guy is not being taken to that dark room.
And more punch. Get the compress. Keep boxing. You're doing great. You're making it hard for him to hit you. I don't want you to slug it out with this guy, all right? Keep your range. Jab, jab, right, okay?
So here we are, a new round underway, and in that last round, he got tagged. He got hit pretty hard, Teddy.
Yeah, he did. He got caught. Now, the first thing is, we all know he got caught, but why did he get caught? He has to be able to decipher that in his head. He has to be able to have the answer to that so it doesn't happen again.
That was a miss by Tyson. It is unbelievable to sit back and just watch what these guys are willing to give and to take. Wow, what a fight so far.
Well, give and take, that's the key word. Sometimes you're forced to become great. And right now, each one of them are forcing the other to go to great places.
Muhammad Ali is doing a good job tonight on the outside. He's able to score from the outside, keeping a safe distance away from his opponent. How important are these mental gymnastics that Muhammad Ali twists and turns, like his pre-fight antics with Sonny Liston, in terms of him getting the results that he wants?
Well, I think he looks for two things. It's a double-edged sword. One is that, you know, he can kind of invade the psyche of his opponent, weaken him a little bit. But it's also for himself. It's to build himself up, to give himself something to aspire to, something to make sure that he lives up to. He puts himself on a spot that now he has to be sure that he handles.
Ten seconds remaining in this round. Well, as that round comes to an end, it gives us a moment to kind of reflect on this overall fight. And Teddy, my thoughts are pretty clear-cut. This is the kind of fight that just takes on a personality of its own. This is an all-out war.
Yeah, this is kind of like watching a guy who's not on a budget. You know, he's spending with both hands. You know, when he goes home, he's going to have no money in his pockets. And when this fight is over, these guys are going to have nothing left in the gas tank, and it's probably not going to a decision.
Get the compress on that. Let's work on the swelling. Can we work on the swelling?
As another round gets underway, it gets us thinking, how much more of this will we see? Hard to envision this fight going the distance with how lopsided it's been. Well-placed counterpunch by Tyson.
Keep your hand up. He's tired.
Muhammad Ali's dealing with a cut around his eye, and it's in a bad spot. His vision could be impaired. Muhammad Ali's doing a good job of targeting on the inside. Teddy, so much work in the gym goes into head movement and how to hit a moving target. Doesn't matter in this fight tonight.
No, this guy doesn't move his head. The old timers would say he gets insulted if you miss him.
And coming upon the halfway mark of this 3-minute round. Was it that obvious right from the start that this physical specimen that you were seeing as a 12, 13, 14-year-old was going to end up being the pro fighter we're seeing in the ring now?
Well, Costamato, the first day we had in the gym, said to me, you're going to have a chance maybe to train your first heavyweight champ if this guy stays interested, if he gives us a chance to develop him.
Do you see any way in which he can take his opponent's aggression and turn it against him?
Yeah, the perfect way. I mean, boxing 101, counterpunching. You got a guy coming at you, no better way than to change his mind. Make him miss, make him pay.
End of this round. Joe and Teddy sitting ringside with you. It gives us time to reflect on the bigger picture of boxing. You know, it was interesting. We had a fan walk up to you earlier today and say, hey, I know you learned everything from the legendary Cus D'Amato, the great trainer. And he said to you, What's the one thing you took away from all your years with Cus? What did you say to him?
Well, it wasn't a paycheck, I'll tell you that much, because Cus didn't believe in paying you for that. He said, you're going to college, you're getting a valuable education, and you're not even being forced to pay a tuition. So I understood that. We worked 7 days a week, so there was no union. Cus believed in working on Sundays, so you couldn't go complain and say I'm being overworked. But I think, seriously, that the most important thing that I learned, of course, that from a technical standpoint, you have to be really secure in those areas. No matter how much talent a fighter has, you have to teach them right, teach them the fundamentals, but mentally. You have to understand that a fighter's really always under fear. And you have to understand those dimensions, those parameters. And you have to be able to find a way to get in there, understanding how he feels mentally, and understanding how that can impair his judgment, stop him from doing simple physical things.
Excellent counterpunch by Tyson. Muhammad Ali is in control of this fight, Teddy. Sometimes you can just look at it and see it as clear as day. He's ahead on the scorecards.
Yeah, I have my head on my scorecard, too. But right now, he can't afford to coast because this guy is still dangerous. He has to still stay on his P's and Q's.
Muhammad Ali's doing a nice job being comfortable on the outside. Well, if ever you wanted to explain to somebody the benefits of distance while fighting, this is a perfect example by what we're seeing out of him on the outside.
Well, you know, so many times I see tall guys, and what the heck's the sense of being tall if you don't know how to fight tall? He knows how.
Round comes to an end here. Joe Tessitore sitting ringside as always with Teddy Atlas. Love coming to this fight venue. We always have a great time when we come to town, with the exception of having to pay the bill for our entire crew on the night before when they take us out to a steak dinner.
Yeah, you know, they remind me of fighters a little bit. You know, the fighters that we see that have very, every once in a while, very short arms. You know,
they do.
These guys,
they don't have the reach.
No,
they can't
don't.
reach for the wallet.
No, they don't. And I tell you, they would be great on the inside. Really great. I wish I could put them on the inside in the kitchen where I didn't have to take care of them at the table. But great guys.
His opponent got away from that uppercut. Mike Tyson's box is not going to the body at all. He'd be so well served to do it, though, Teddy.
Yeah, but his opponent doesn't want him to. So, you know, he doesn't want to go against what his opponent doesn't want him to do, because his opponent would love to keep throwing to the head because, you know, he can see those coming. He can move and avoid them. Body shots, you know, your head moves, but your body doesn't.
Teddy, this is one of those moments where you just wish you could pick up the phone and call up the world and say, tune in. Everybody should be watching this, right?
I have a cell phone. I might do that right now.
Start dialing.
Keep your distance. Range.
And Tyson with a block punch. This has been a hotly contested war throughout, and you just have a sense that it's going to end at any moment in these later rounds.
Yeah, these guys are not saving anything. They're going for broke right from the beginning.
Done. You had in that round. You're in control. Next round, let's keep busy. You have to keep your distance. Stay away from him. Keep throwing that jab.
I think those 60 seconds served him really well. He looks fresh and ready to go after it here. Muhammad Ali is doing a good job of just creating some space there, just pushing off. Muhammad Ali is much better on the outside, much better when he has some space and he's at long range. So pushing off here, creating space is the right thing to do. Nice job to land that counter punch and getting away from one of his own by Tyson. Teddy, it's one of my favorite times of one of our fight broadcasts. When we make the declaration, he has to have a knockout to win.
And how's he going to do it? Well, I think he's got to be a photographer. He's got to be a guy that goes in the darkroom, really, Joe, and start looking at the negatives. During the night, a lot of pictures have been taken. He's got to go now and look back at those pictures and remember something, that he saw something. He saw a moment. He saw a spot where the guy dropped his hand. He pulled back, and he's got to go, and he's got to act on that moment.
A good block by Mike Tyson. On the mark, the counter. Wow! Mike Tyson's almost out of it there. He was stunned.
Come on, guys, punch it out. Punch it out, no holding.
End of the round there. He was able to stun his opponent. Teddy, when you're training a guy that's coming off a round where he just got to his man, what do? Do you say, hey, I saw that, and here's how you did it? How do you approach that?
Well, you want to make sure you remind him exactly what you're talking about, how he set it up. Don't think about just a big punch that landed. Remember how you got to that point.
Listen, he's done. He's done. I want you to double up on that jab and finish out with a hook, okay? 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Don't stand toe-to-toe with this guy. Keep your distance, all right?
Back to fight action as a new round is underway. Of course, in that last round, it was fairly one-sided. He was hit pretty hard, and now he has to overcome that here.
Yeah, you don't have to be Nostradamus to know that. I mean, everybody saw, you know, he got...
Right in the line of the target. A right hand. Up after that punch put him down on the canvas.
Now he needs to get on that bicycle and stay away from this guy.
Mike Tyson's thinking right now that he's doing a good job defensively, but it's really not the case, Teddy. Every so often, you will see a punch split that guard.
Yeah, he's just standing there. First of all...
Oh, that's gotta hurt. Ali stunned, and he is hurt. Not what he was looking for. That's a miss right there by Ali. A minute ago in what has been a memorable... Oh, Mike Tyson stunned and staggered.
Come on, work it out.
Tyson takes that blow and now looks to clinch.
He wants to clear his head right now, but not just physically, emotionally. He wants to get rid of that memory. He wants to make sure that he can move on after this and get aggressive again.
Oh! Mike Tyson's in a bad... He goes down. Oh, he may be close here. Can he survive the round? So he goes down, but able to get up to his feet. Teddy, what should he be thinking about now? And he catches a lucky break. Saved by the bell here at the end of the round, Teddy.
Yeah, right away you're thinking, you know, where do I spend my time right now? You want to tell him things that can help him, but he is really groggy right now, so you got to get him clear-minded first.
Listen, he's gonna get desperate. He's gonna come forward now because he has to. Let's get on that swelling. Get on the swelling.
So here we are, all wondering, can he survive the start of this round after the way we saw him go down in that last round?
Well, it's up to his opponent. Now, his opponent gets a little careless and he rushes in a little bit too close. He can get a chance to grab those hands and tie him up. And then he can kill a little of the clock, survive.
He goes down, and there is still plenty of time remaining in this round.
Use jab. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And this fight is over. Muhammad Ali's gonna be partying tonight. A knockout victory.
Your winner, the greatest of all.
Muhammad Ali's your winner by knockout, Teddy.
When we came in wondering whether or not his opponent had a good chin, we found out.
For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. That does it ringside. We'll see you next time.